almost every champion available, and I want to see Maple pushing.
Well, of course, Maple has played the LeBlanc here as well, which is exactly what Xiaohu was able to take down Faker on himself, of course, with a lot of help from MLXG.
Already.
Yeah, exactly. Double respect here as Gangplank and the LeBlanc are going to be taken away on the side of SKT. Siva banned away from Bang from the Flash Wolves.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be SKT pushing Maple instead. So far, though, we've had really consistent pick ban phases here at MSI. We've had Lucian 11 out of 11 games he's been picked. 10 out of 11 Graves has been picked. And then we have 400% pick ban champions in Kindred, Lucian, Nidalee, and Ryze. So they've been pretty predictable up until this point. Now we get all these mid lane bans because this is a mid lane matchup of Titans here.
Yeah, the focus here as well. And you can see Flash was actually taking some time here. They're like trying to work out what SKT are trying to bring to the table. Could be an early pickup of that Azir. Of course, the LeBlanc doing quite well into that matchup. I just like the Gangplank ban just because Maple did so much ridiculous damage on that champion.
Yep.
You have a look at the damage to champions graph, you're like, something's got to be broken here. As they throw out a Malphite ban as their final one. Zillion, of course, taken away from Faker as well, playing that a heck of a lot in the finals.
Oh man, Nidalee getting through because of all these mid lane target bans and the very curious Malphite ban to me here from Flash Wolves. Have not seen him rear his head at all here at MSI, but he's going to be off the table as well, one of those tanks for the top lane. Regardless though, anytime you can grab Nidalee, I'm excited. Huge opportunity there in the early game for Blank, and we'll see how he rolls over.
Yeah, of course, Casa knows Blank quite well, as we heard in the video.
Yeah.
So we'll see whether they've got a plan for this. They do lock away the Alistair as well as the Echo. MMD loves picking up that champion there towards the top side of the map. We'll see whether they do flex it. Of course, Maple, known for his assassin play, could play it in the mid lane. Now, especially with the fact that he scales just a little bit better with that ability power.
Definitely true.
But Blank and Faker now to take their picks here for SKT. We'll see what the plan is.
I'll start taking away from Wolf as well. Both the Korean supports here have played it a lot.
Azir makes so much sense. With
Faker, yeah, blind Azir, just open right up. LeBlanc is banned. Maple's Zed, though.
Yeah.
Most played champion available, and he could do it. Hover over there.
Not to mention the fact that, you know, Echo does do a fair bit of magic damage there towards the top side of the map.
Yeah.
So he's able to pick something a little bit more physical orientated.
That would really put a timer on to Flash Wolves, though.
Yeah. But Faker, this is like throwing the gauntlet as well. I mean, picking the Azir blind once again, wanting to demonstrate that RNG could have been potentially exactly that. Just a bit of bad RNG.
And this is a show from Faker of strength right here. I mean, he just went 0-5 at the beginning of the last game on Azir into LeBlanc. This time they banned it out, but he's not afraid to jump at. You got to jump back on that horse, Atlas.
Yeah.
he fell off
back
one
to
time.
desk again.
Yeah, exactly. And Faker's going to get right back up there. Emperor returns. We'll see if Flash Wolves can bring the pain.
Stick around
as
for
well,
Faker on the analyst desk.
The other thing, though, is that teams have done this before. This happens in the LCK every once in a while. Teams super heavily focus Faker. Lots of teams have had this idea, you know, and throw a bunch of games at ganks at Faker because he plays pretty aggressively sometimes. But the next game, right after you have a game like that, he's going to want to play more cautiously, ward more, probably not go for as aggressive trades. Maybe they won't make that call to make the turnaround, the counter engage for the counter gank. We'll see how it affects his playstyle.
Yeah, exactly right. Maple and Aldo are going to be able to lock away that Kindred and the Ezreal. Ezreal not seeing quite as much success, especially with those Iceborne Gauntlet nerfs, but Bang, of course, showing that he can definitely put it to work. NL throwing the Gauntlet here again, seeing whether he can do a little bit better.
Yeah, NL has been a pretty weak link for the Flash Wolves so far this tournament. Coming into today, he had the lowest CS difference at 10. Of anyone.
Yeah.
That was only 2 games sample, obviously, so it's pretty low, but he definitely needs to step up for the team.
And Ryze has really slunk through this draft. Was, of course, one of those 100% pick ban champions that you were mentioning before. Final pick, potentially. Could be that man towards the middle lane by the looks of things. Maple wanting to pick that one up. Of course, they can flex it with the Echo if they want, but probably not. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he could be one of these players like Perks that will take the Rise into the Azir matchup and look for that burst kill. Maybe he takes Thunder Lords. That's what Deficio was talking about. Perks used to do. Try and go for those all-ins. You get that little bit of extra damage, even though Rise builds a lot of mana.
Ekes it out.
Try and eke it out in the early stages.
Yeah. SKT, powerful meta
man.
picks right now.
This
There's 3
music
seconds
is
to go. Yeah, it's super
So
epic.
intense. 3 seconds. 1 second.
Is it going to be the Rise? And it
He
is.
does.
So Rise going to be locked in here. Maple most likely going to be playing that towards the middle lane.
Yeah.
We shall see. Of course, not a lot of range, but a fair bit more poke. A hard engage available from that Alistair, but you have to, looking at these lanes here especially towards the bottom side of the map, could be something that Flash Wolves want to avoid.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting matchup here. It's going to be all about will they camp the mid lane again? Because these are two very capable junglers.
I mean, if anyone's going to set up a gank, it's going to be Rise. Walk at them, press W.
Maple is not going to be taking Ignite for the mid lane, though, and that was a big part of the early skirmish.
Very true.
Teleport here for Maple, so maybe they decide not to go for that. But if you play the Rise Azir matchup the way Perks did, it's a lot of all-ins. Rise has to close the distance and pull off one of those really big trades with his passive, or else Azir just uses the soldiers to slowly whittle him down, poke him out. That's why a lot of people favor the Azir side of that matchup.
Also has just so much range here as well on the side of the Azir, as well as the Nidalee with those spears, can pounce on top of people as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we want you to hop over onto Twitter, tweet at LOL Esports, use that hashtag SKT win if you think that they can bounce back after the loss against RNG, or use that hashtag FWWin to give your support to the LMS region. We are loading onto the Rift. You can see these are the lineups, some powerful picks, the Rise, Kindred, Nidalee, Azir, massive champions. See which one is going to take them down.
All these power picks getting through here because of all the target banning mid lane. And in the end, they end up with the most common mid laners.
Yeah.
Everybody's using Azir and Rise these days. So hot right now, Atlas.
Well, last time Faker was in this matchup, he was, in fact, the Rise into the Azir and made short work of it. Of course, very short work. They had 23 and 28-minute games.
Not the case today. Let's see if this one will be another one like day one, short, as you said.
Could be another long one. You could potentially have fit like 4 of their games from day 1 into 2 from day 2.
I mean, there is a lot of scaling on both sides, so we've got the tier plus Roa builds here from Flash Wolves, and Kindred, obviously, very at home, stacking up the Devourer as well as her passive. Azir, God in the late game.
And this is the same duo that SKT brought in the jungle and mid lane against RNG. We'll see whether the strategy is going to be slightly refined. Of course, it was LeBlanc Graves, which is a little bit of a different situation. Flash Wolves will see what they're going to do, but it is going to be the Storm Raider Surge there for the Rise, not going for the Thunderlords. Well,
we will see. This is better if you can already get ahead. Thunderlords basically gives you a little push to have more damage in the trade to try and get your first kill and get ahead. But Storm Raiders is better if you can get ahead and you can get off that big damage to move around the team fights and try and get back to the priority target. Because what you want to do is get close to your priority target to try and get some nice bounces with Spell Flux and easily land your Qs. But as we watch Nidalee clear here, Blake trying to use the traps. She no longer snares everything, but still want to get all those traps down and resets.
Yep, Pounce, of course, doing a little bit more damage to make up for the lack of that CC. So jungle clear, ridiculously fast. But it looks like standard lanes here as well as SKT move towards the bottom side. Korea looking to assert their dominance here with the Lucian for Bang. Man, known for sort of popularizing very late game carry-oriented Lucian.
Bang's Lucian is so fun to watch in the late game, especially when SKT run their Lulu in the mid lane on Faker. But even by itself, extremely fun to watch him later and his movements around the fights. We saw even in the game that they lost, he was putting out a tremendous amount of damage. Even when Faker was getting popped at the very beginning and put out 0, Bang would top the damage charts.
Definitely able to make things work. We saw that trade towards the top side, though. MMD getting the better of Duke. But there's the headbutt pole, sorta going aggressive. But there's the pillar down, Bang, avoiding some damage. But Wolf just happy to tank whatever he wants. Looks very strange.
Yeah, it's something that I want to bring up again. I mean, you mentioned Bang there. Right? So many people focus on Faker, but Bang is probably, he's definitely the best AD carry at this tournament, and it really, really shows. There's a lot of really strong mid laners, but Bang has been outstanding. We'll see if he can actually abuse the BF sword versus tier that Deficio loves to see. Lucian hold over Ezreal if they get standard lanes like this.
Yeah, we'll see when sort of NL is going to be backing as well, because that's a lot of the story with these Ezreal matchups. It's like, do I want to get my tier early and try and stack it up, concede the lane, or do I want to do something else? But there's the headbutt pole one more time. Bang actually taking a lot of damage as the Mystic shots are flying through. Wolf there as well. Throws down a pillar. He's just happy to go to town on these guys.
Yeah, I mean, they're already calling... oh, well, Bang actually decides to chug his potion and get right back in here.
Yeah, get me back in amongst it. Relic Shield going to help heal them back up as well. Of course, both sides of this. That Mystic shot somehow weaved onto Bang after it had driven by.
Yeah. While the camera's been so focused on laning here, I've actually been tracking these junglers, and we got one of the early invades there from Blank on Nidalee. Did get a little bit tiny early CS lead, and did take away one Gromp, as well as drop the Smite on the Wolf camp. So
Wolf Spirit available.
It's one of the most annoying things. You get counter jungled, plus Blank leaves behind the annoying Wolf Spirit.
Yeah, they
there.
can watch you get annoyed when they notice that you've just counter jungled.
Plus he left a ward in there on top of the Wolf Spirit, which is a little bit of overkill. But Karsa might actually hypothesize that Blink already went into that side and avoid it for the time being anyway.
Well, heads back to one of his only camps that's available in the Raptors. Starts them off over here. You can see Blank doing the same thing. Both of these junglers moving very swiftly. One more here for Castle. We'll be able to take that one down. A camp ahead after that Gromp falls for Blank. So the Nidalee doing exactly what Nidalee does best, which is delete jungle camps at extreme speed.
Blank doing a very good job, power farming. And yes, Karsa avoiding that bottom side. Just assumed Nidalee had gone down there. I think that dying ward saw him. Maybe not, because Duke sticks around, gets tagged, a little bit of damage. Not too big of a deal for him, though.
Yeah, red buff ticking away just a little bit, but Duke says, you're just being annoying, Karsa.
All right.
Don't worry about this.
So Karsa shows. That's going to give Nidalee an opportunity to get in there. Fortunately for Karsa, he already took the camp, so Blank won't be able to get it. But Faker's going to focus around, and they're going to be outnumbered on the top side. Ooh, they do get away.
Yeah, a bit of a pincer maneuver.
Back right off. Actually surprised. I mean, I guess Blank doesn't really have anything to force Kindred into that. But numbers advantage not used.
Yep, Faker actually going to give Maple some time on his own there in the mid lane with the wave push towards him. Makes his way back in. He's going to even the score here.
Yep.
5 CS, 6 CS in the lead here for Maple, but nothing to write home about. With both of these mid laners looking to try and scale. We ain't riding home very much.
Yeah,
Kobe.
I know. You keep saying that, and I just keep imagining you.
Sitting at my typewriter.
What's going to trigger Atlas to go write a handwritten letter to his mother?
Why am I always writing to my
League
mother?
Of Legends.
You know,
I don't know. I assume that's who's at home. that actually is pretty bad. I mean,
you know, you're just making assumptions.
I know.
Could be writing home to anyone, and it looks like I'm just not writing home, honestly. But Karsa is going to be picking up this.
Also, I don't know why I have you writing a letter, because who writes letters anymore?
That's a very good
Probably
point.
It would be an email if you wrote home, right?
Yeah, but it's hard. What would I do? Write it on a piece of paper, scan it in, and then send it home. I feel like we may have gone a little bit too far.
That's pretty hipster of you. Let's take a look at the Nidalee gank, though.
Yeah, exactly right. Spear not going to find it. And the Flash Wolves are going to disengage just fine. Pillow is in a decent spot, but SKT.
But not only is Blank getting off this, gank that obviously didn't do anything down bottom, but look at the wards that he's been able to place in the jungle of Karsa. Karsa now trying to go for an invade he knows is safe. He just saw Blank on the bottom side, so he makes the very obvious invade to go strike back, take a camp for himself. But Blank has done a really good job of keeping up vision inside Karsa's jungle. They're pretty happy, actually, Karsa there to go even with the Nidalee in the early stages of the game. And both of them going with those Hunter Potions early on, too, so they can stay out for an extremely long period of time. And they'll always have a lot of health to answer any skirmishes. This is something we see from more and more of the top junglers in pro play, is early purchases of these Hunter Potions, as well as upgrading their jungle items so that they stay healthy at all times, so they're always ready to react. Jungle is all about being ready for options. The more options you have open, the more dynamic your play is.
Yeah, and look, speaking of options, Blank is going to take away another blue buff. Going to head in there. Is actually being hunted by Karsa at the moment. This Rift Scuttler also going to fall down.
Yep. Only slightly more tedious for Nidalee to take now that it doesn't snare. She can't insta-kill it. Takes an extra spear. With the help of Trundle, though, going to take that one and deny. Another mark from Karsa. He's not going to be happy about that one.
Yep. Bang as well, sort of the only considerable CS lead, as he's now back ahead of NL. Went back, grabbed that tier. Of course, now the Sheen picked up as well. But BF Sword, Cull, and Longsword, Bang is in so much control of this lane now. We talk about the first backs all the time.
Rarely do we see the Cull's bot in the 2 versus 2. Okay, Blank actually waiting for him here. But it's really difficult to fight Kindred while the circle there for Wolf is up, the W. Faker goes in
gets the
for
flash.
the combo and gets his flash out.
Teleport coming in now though, but Maple is going to pick up Blank off to the side. They destroy him for first blood, but SKT, they've turned on to Castle Lambs just by a share. He's trying to get in there, but Faker's able to lock that one down. Parallel convergence, no stun. As Duke is trying to run away from this one. Wolf here as well, but so Sword Art. The ultimate going to lock 2 up, but he's still in the sky. He's taken so much damage, and Flash Wolves grab another.
Whew, even with the flash up there, and Flash Wolves, not only do they get the first blood, but they get the extra kill on top of it. Really decisive collapse there on the top side of the map. And it's far away from this Ezreal down here. Bang's just happy farming up here with his tier stacking. Let's see. Sword Art takes the bite on the arm, doesn't even care.
Yeah, take the bull by the horns, as it were. But he's actually going to get trophied here as Wolf just smacking him with his baseball bat. The chomp coming down. Sword Art saying, I just want to go back to my paddock. All right, now I'm going to bash you. But not happening. Castle was making his way in. Wolf says, all right, this is
that support fight. Let's take another look at this, though, because
Faker
gets the flash out of Karsa, but Maple gets the flash and a big chunk of health out of Blank, and they capitalize on that jungler kill first because Kindred with the ultimate.
Whoa, meanwhile, Maple, the W's not quite enough there as he's tanking up the turret. There's Juke in there. Make sure that the tower helps out, and Faker not going to be dead. It's a true shot barrage! I take it all back! NL takes the snipe.
Oh my goodness, so yeah, Bang farming up his Cull, NL farming up his tier. Oh, NL gonna look for another one! He got the red buff now!
The culling comes down as well. Mystic Shot needs to land here for NL, and it does!
Oh my goodness.
Flash Wolves team fighting like beasts, but in comes the cavalry. SKT Wolf taking a bit of damage. There's the exhaust as the subjugate comes down as well. Nice pulverize, but it's prolonging the inevitable. Oh, turning around, able to get a little bit of work done, but Blank finishes that one off.
Oh my goodness, kills everywhere in the game. Tied once again, Atlas.
Yeah.
Dragon's gonna be the real prize after this one though, as the Devour is just completed for Karsa, and he's then able to go get the stacks. That is the best feeling as Kindred. You finally get all that money to get your Devour, and then boom, shoot up to 5 more stacks. All right, but this is why some people like the Rise part of the matchup for the all-in potential, but Maple will remember that day. He did not catch Faker. Does get the vision on his recall spot, though, for NL with the beautiful snipe. They call it a little bit late for Faker, and he's not able to get out of the way there. Whew. What an exciting game right off the bat here.
Exactly. Back-to-back. Ridiculous matches. Not necessarily as many kills, but this is a Korean game, you know? Like, SKT are a team that don't generally fill up that kill scoreboard. This time around, though, happy to go toe-to-toe with Flash Wolves.
Yeah.
100 gold in the lead.
Some strong early moves. But again, they're just going blow for blow. Really the only big difference is that Karsa got the 5 stacks on Kindred with the early dragon. Can he steal a blue as well? That is...
He was looking for it.
It was pretty close, actually. That's so hard to do, cross-map all the way from bottom lane to time that. Especially since there's a lot of vision from SKT. They can see that thing coming across the map with all the wards that they have right now. It almost went right down that ward line. And Faker's able to secure the blue, so not going to steal this one away, you know.
Not this time, but both tiers are stacking now. Seraph's Embrace and Muramana looking to try and get on board as quickly as possible for NL and Maple.
No.
Rod of Ages almost completed here as well for the Rise with the first blood, we have to remember. So the Rise feeling in pretty good shape.
Yeah, Flash Wolves in general, pretty happy about this one. Carson now right back to stacking up. And there's actually a slight invade here. Let's see how deep he gets. Oh, Pink Ward goes down. Pink Ward's going to get killed pretty quickly, too. Carson's going to chase him out first.
Worst feeling.
Yeah. It's these little things.
Yeah.
Devour completion, 5 stacks. Your Pink Ward just dropped it. It's dead.
Carson's having a good time.
We're really commiserating with the players in this one.
Exactly. It's about feeling what they're feeling.
Write home about it, Atlas.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm going to. Okay. I'm going to let my mom know as well, just for you, Kobe.
All right. Well, that is going to be Carson defending his jungle, and they've really passed the stage where Nidalee has that advantage over, and she can really just power farm and try and get all the counter jungling down. Right now, he's making the best of it. Going to try and stake away this one, but it's not like it's a stack camp or anything. And Carson's going to be on the bottom side trying to get some vision for himself. In the vision war, though, still Blink. He's been so diligent.
Yeah, he
giving
has.
up his part of the vision war and using his
Tracker's knife. Skirmisher's Saber was actually picked up here from Casa as well, so not going to be able to equal out that vision that's being gained, and we'll see whether he can utilize it in order to grab some more kills. Flash Wolves have completely evened out that gold. Did stretch to about 500, which is not worth talking about at all, but I'm still going to. Now, again, about a 300 difference, but seriously, close.
So this is interesting. It kind of looks like Flash Wolves are just getting this bottom turret for nothing, but they traded their topside jungle for it. Blank just went in there, took a bunch of the topside jungle there, and laid down some extra wards as he left as well. Plus, he's going to try and pressure mid here. Actually, they back off. So that's a really good trade for Flash Wolves, I feel like.
Yeah, and they got the full shove towards the bottom side as well.
Yeah, especially since Blank was pretty much already in the red side jungle. And Carson's like, yeah, okay, you're Nidalee, you're going to be trying to counter jungle me. That's fine. I'll make a move on the opposite side of the map here once again. Uses that red buff, true damage on the turret as well. They take it out really quickly. But consolation prize over to SKT. Nidalee can now move extra fast.
Yeah. So they are able to take the Rift Herald, which is exactly what you meant.
Yep. Also gets a little bit of extra damage. She doesn't really need help on her clear speed.
Yeah, I was
but
gonna
she does get some extra help on the clear speed now. Maybe she does a little bit. He is going for the Rod of Ages build.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Speaking of which, Maple finishes his
later.
the same time. Iceborne Gauntlet done for NL. So he'll have a little bit of extra CC, not quite as much extra damage as he would have otherwise if it was a few patches past.
Also going to be delaying his Muramana.
Yeah,
so
but
won't stack up quite as quickly.
Yeah, Rift Herald was taken towards the middle lane, but ultimately going to be popped there from Maple. Well, actually, no, it's just passive. So able to clear that one out relatively quickly. All things fine. And a slight CS lead there for Faker with the exhaust that he's picked up. True Shot Barrage once again nails the golden chicken. Oh, and bang, value. True Shot Barrage, am I right? Takes himself down and out of turret at the same time.
All right, Flash Wolves are actually pretty far ahead on this play. They've got a couple extra seconds. Bottom lane is being pushed in. MMD is going to try and delay this one as well, but he's got to be careful. They have a little bit of vision in their own jungle. Here comes SKT trying to collapse on him. He's going to see it, but just at the last moment, they see the ward placed, and they actually call down Sworda as well. So, yeah, Flash Wolves holding on to the outer string of turrets right now.
I feel like this is a game of chess, and Flash Wolves seem to have a whole lot of these answers that we're not used to seeing teams have towards this mid-game.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm always so hesitant to attribute a big lead just to outer turrets, because outer turrets go down so easily in the mid-game.
And by big lead, we mean
one,
400 gold.
And remember, you get more than this gold lead from killing those two turrets. So if SKT recoup the extra gold
on the map, right?
Then they'll actually be ahead. We'll see, though, because it's all about what you can buy for that next team fight. Right now, the important part is that Flash Wolves are denying those two turrets for right now for the team fight that will happen.
Yeah, not to mention the 2-item power spikes that we have for NL and Maple coming in very, very quickly. Seraph Embrace, only the recipe to complete, and NL's got that Manamune now as well as the Iceborne Gauntlet. Just needs that transformation, and it'll have a lot of damage here for this mid-game, despite the fact that Bang did have a relatively good laning phase and is ahead by a couple of CS.
Yeah, he popped that Cole as well, so he got to cash in.
Yeah, so that's sort of making up for the extra kill NL managed to pick up. Extra couple, actually. Nottingham Ezreal just smacking some minions down in the mid lane.
Oh yeah, Flash Wolves also rotating Maple up to the top side now to clear out that wave and pressure. Looks like they are going to have both side lanes pushing, plus dragon control. So far this game, very pretty, very crisp rotations here from Flash Wolves.
Dictating the pace at the moment. It looks a bit like SKT are happy to sort of concede this extra control. I mean, they're not getting too much leeway. SKT still seem to be able to find what they need in order to get themselves through. But they'll need to start focusing on some dragons. 20 minutes into the game, those 6% stats getting more and more juicy. Those stats are being built up. Huh. Faker, another one. That's his third True Shot Barrage. You know, I mean, I know it's not all that much, like basically negligible damage, right? But this could be not. That is a big slide and glide, but Sword Art comes in MMD! There's the Emperor's Divide, but it's not enough! Too late as Flash Wolves take down the man in the mid lane.
All right, let's see what SKT can do because they need to try and turtle and defend this. They're actually calling Duke down from the top lane instead of trying to pressure that top side turret. They really want to keep this mid one standing. It's their last outer. If that one falls, you lose so much jungle control.
Yeah, well, it is below half health already. Kasa could actually have to watch out for the heroic charge. Does so with a flash. As Duke with a bit of a drive-by.
All right, good defense there. I like that, actually. They, instead of pressuring that top turret, they instead get the flash out of the juggler. Look at this. So
massive glide.
It was a pincer movement from Flash Wolves. Really well-coordinated play. And once again, we talk about the macro here from Flash. Ooh. He's going to leave it up for Ezreal. So Ezreal, not only is it going to have the Iceborne, freezing, slow, AoE, but the on-hit true damage from red buff. Ooh, Maple's going to sneak out of this one as well.
Yeah, trophy not even enough there as well as Kasa.
Storm Raider Surge reduces slow effectiveness on Maple. He's going to be a very slippery blue man.
Slippery blue man.
I don't know why.
I like that a lot.
That
is able to take down his red buff.
He's actually a zombie in this game, so he's
slippery
fastest zombie that you've ever seen.
Oh man.
What was that? There was one zombie movie where the zombies were actually really fast, and that was incredibly scary to me.
28 days later,
usually
man,
scary. That's usually their one weakness is they're slow, so I'm not really that scared of them. But
they were like rabid zombies. That's not what you want to have to deal with.
That's insane, yeah.
So Maple, bringing it back to relevance here, rabid zombie in the mid lane. Yeah, able to take a blue buff here as well.
Rabid zombie with a machine gun now because he's got a blue buff and he can just pop off.
That would make a terrifying movie. Let's not make movies together, Kobe, because that sounds very frightening. NL clearing out the mid lane once again. There's Maple waiting with Sword Art here on the bottom side jungle. The red buff, of course, is what they're looking to try and take down. Passive has been popped. They don't even get the red buff.
I mean, he's got a smite, so
yeah, that's going to help him there.
Really tough to steal away from Nidalee with smite, but they gave it their all. That's what really counts in the end.
But once again, I mean, this game on a knife edge completely. No team really finding too much, and both teams sort of content. Flash Wolves are making a few extra proactive plays, of course, moving around the enemy jungle, trying to get in amongst it, but yeah, there it is.
There it is. Did he get, was that just the mark? He still doesn't have sated with 2 dragons taken, 21 minutes. It's actually a really slow sated from Karsa, but he's almost there. 3 more stacks and he'll have it. It hasn't really been a big factor since they haven't had,
throwing down some spells.
Too big of a team fight there, so yeah. Look at Sword Art though. Positioned so deep once again. He's coming from behind once again. Surprise cow!
Yeah, there's another passive goes down. He gets 2 rounds. Oh no!
Surprise!
Yep, Sword Art saying, oh, well, we'll just get the turret, Maple. We'll be fine.
Alistar is one of my favorite champions like that because whenever he fails to play like that,
he just
smashes the ground. He's like, Gar! Dag nabbit.
Forgot that he was a pirate. Yar! I'm upset. But we have SKT now in the mid lane, not able to defend that bottom inner turret as Flash Wolves now get themselves a decent lead. It's over 1,000 gold now. And I say decent, not exactly too much. Seraph's Embrace though, the transform coming in. There are item spikes to be spoken about for Flash Wolves.
Speak about the spikes.
I'm speaking about them.
Preach it to me.
I think I already did.
All right. It's true enough because I'd like to see them use it. Anytime you have spikes, those are formidable weapons.
They certainly are. I thought you were going to talk about punk clothing.
These ones are obviously ice spikes as well. The tiers have fully stacked the Rod of Ages. 8 stacks, that's good enough. We'll round that one off, that's fine. Pretty much fully stacked.
You're going for the exaggeration move. I'm a definite fan of that.
They also have, completed Sunfire on Echo compared to parts on Duke, which is significant. Look at Maple, though. He's actually waiting in the top side brush. There's all these sneaky little plays that are going on just on the mini-map, not even on the main stage, that have gone unnoticed because there's no action up there. The observers don't really go up there to look at it. But these are attempts that Flash Wolves are setting up. Somebody waiting in the brush up top side, hoping for someone to come try and push that lane.
Yeah, and it's almost like Flash Wolves are looking for a way in, looking for that weakness. And much like RNG, despite the early lead that they got, they couldn't find any of those. SKT just played defensively so well.
Yeah, what Flash Wolves really are trying to look for is a chance to use their double teleport. They really want to come in with a team fight that they're able to set up the terrain. They're able to choose the location of the team fight. It's all about the battlefield choice here for Flash Wolves and trying to get the initiative in that fight. Whereas SKT, they're working with, obviously, the Azir, who has no teleport, but a lot of mid lane control. See if this dragon actually forces them out of it, or if they just go for the steal. Blank going in!
Yeah, looking for it, but Cast is able to pick that one up. The flash from Blank wants the bounce, but not going to get it! It is going to be Maple picking up the kill as Blank falls.
Oh,
and they get the third dragon.
That is even bigger than you think.
But I thought it was really big.
Maybe it's just as big as you thought it was, because I was going to also point out that the teleport being burned for Duke means that Flash Wolves have 2 extra cross-map opportunities for themselves. Now, not only do they have the dragon stack and continue, not only did they get that kill, they have so much playmaking ability. They have all of their outer turrets up. Basically, the Oyster is ready to crack here for Flash Wolves.
Yeah, and they do
it's
also
their turn to make the play. They just need some deep wards now.
Yeah, well, NL does have to use the Arcane Shift, but Faker says, nope, gonna go for too much here. But SKT setting up, pushing the mini wave through. Trophy goes down. NL getting shown by Wolf that he's a world champion. There's the trophy. Casa takes down Raptor camp here as well. So Maple split pushing towards the bottom side this time, was setting up shop towards the top. But what Flash Wolves have been doing fantastically is keeping these side waves shoved in over and over again. And Casa's just saying, all right, I'll make it to the late game. I'll be this monster Rise, going for that third item, Guardian Angel. Actually very used to seeing that in the LPL, especially. Battle Rise.
Yeah,
he will rise
A
again.
big fan of that as well. I mean, we talked about this actually early on when we first started seeing it with the other casters, and Rise really, there are 2 great items for him. The Rod of Ages and the Seraph's Embrace. Those are just perfect items for him. They bunch of mana, bunch of ability power, some defensive utility as well because he wants to get in there. But after that, you're like, there's not really any other perfect items. So you go a little defensive, get the Guardian Angel, you can get right back up, and make more use of those first 2 perfect items that you had in the fight. Meanwhile, though, Flash Wolves, they finally get that mid turret. They've been knocking on the door for so long. SKT have been huddling around that mid turret, trying to keep it upright so that they can protect their jungle. But now the floodgates have opened, and Flash Wolves are looking to move in.
Yeah, Sword Art actually looking to set up something behind this inner turret. Doesn't get in there. Pink Ward goes down. Blank setting up the vision, but Casa wanders around the spear as it lists lazily above him. Faker clears out minions here in the mid lane. But Duke actually going to get pulverized here as Maple comes in. The headbutt at an odd angle. It's going to push the Poppy more to safety than anything else. And NL almost, with that Blade of the Ruin King, shuffling around the mid lane.
But that little skirmish just highlights the point of Flash Wolves have invaded and have so much control of this bottom side. They have complete vision. They can even catch you coming out of your base gates at this point.
Yeah.
So they have been really, done a really good job of moving up that line of control. SKT just holding on to their second line of turrets here, and they're facing the second possible loss in a row here at MSI as Flash Wolves have a fairly small but substantial lead in this game, and it's all about the map control that they've got. They have also got plenty of scaling on their side, even though Faker on Azir is a massive threat in the late game.
Yeah,
Flash Wolves have
oh my god,
pretty
really,
good
really
like
important
themselves.
item here as well. MMD has picked up that QSS, so not going to be worried about that subjugate. SKT in these sort of built-up team fights, dealing with that Echo is going to be hard.
That plus your Guardian Angel just got completed.
Oh man, item spikes,
Spikes
Kobe.
on spikes for you, Atlas.
Yeah, this is definitely punk rock right now.
Let's see if they can get the team fight that they want now. They actually waited out their full duration of Duke's teleport, so they no longer have the double teleport advantage.
Oh no.
Because SKT were able to huddle around. Oh, yeah.
That feels so bad. He accidentally hit Baron with his spear.
The feels,
And lost.
once again.
Yeah. So many. Faker, they're able to take down the Wolf Camp. And SKT, they just have never really looked bothered by this, but Flash Wolves are just feeling completely in control. This is a team that went 2-0 against the Coup Tigers at Worlds during the group stage.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so not intimidated at all. And NL's just been playing up in this mid lane against more often than not 2+ people, and just happy to sit on his Arcane Shift and say, bring it.
Yeah. One of the most comfortable marksmen to be on as an AD carry.
That's a good point.
Feeling extremely safe because you have so much utility and disengage. Let's see here. Can Flash Wolves get what you really... Okay, so they want to get the deep permanent wards down.
So that's like, I'm...
Can I... This is
done it.
no cow zone. Whoop. And he's able to get through. Wide load is actually able to get right past that
Hey.
trophy finally.
So mean.
But yeah, what Flash Wolves really want to do, right here, this is a good example. These wards, the permanent wards in deep spots, there we go, he's going to replace the other one. They're looking just setting up for the opportunities to try and collapse on SKT. But SKT have done such a good job of turtling and huddling on their turrets, playing defensively. We saw it before when they got behind.
Yeah.
And eventually lost their long game against RNG. But they do play very defensively from behind and make it really hard for you, even if you have a lead on them, to finish the game off.
Not to mention the fact that they sort of had Azir moving up that top lane, but so much vision. It was sort of a complete circle. They understood that there's no one there for Flash Wolves. They've had it set up for so long as well that they know that
Here
there's
comes
no
the
wards
teleport.
inside,
They're going to
yeah,
make the call.
They're going to try and find something here in the mid lane as well, as SKT is setting things up. The pincer movement. We'll see whether it's going to work. As Sword Art doesn't quite find it, but Wolf left on his own. He's going to get destroyed as NL picks up first kill. MMD trying to set up, but Duke knocks a bunch of them away. The culling comes down, but Flash Wolves aren't finished.
So patient for Flash Wolves. They continue to keep up their wards so that they can make the play when SKT finally step out the base.
Fourth
Even though
dragon.
SKT take down that middle ward, they still had an extra one. And Flash Wolves, they finally are able to make it pay off. They use both teleports for that though, and it's only a single kill. But really the important thing, that fourth dragon, setting up dragon number 5, which is what they can use to force Baron. We stack both of those, and that's how you can crack into SKT's base. That's how you get past the Azir Lucian wave clear.
Yeah, well, we're going to see it again.
Yeah, it took so long for them. They were so patient in setting this up. SKT finally out in the middle of the map, and they strike. Wolf is the first one off the target. MMD goes in and zones there with Echo, one of the best things for him. The disengage there from Duke was good, but the damage was done. They got the kill, and they secured the objective for Flash Wolves. So great mid-game here from Flash Wolves, stacking them up.
Instant communication there as well. You saw after the ult came out from Duke on the Poppy, they just said, all right, let's go do Dragon. Instantly. As soon as that happened, not going to take an unfavorable fight. Immediately setting up for the next objective. Flash Wolves playing extremely well in the final game of the day.
The group today is getting blown wide open.
Yeah.
SKT, they first lost today versus RNG. We thought that was going to be an oddity. We thought that was, oh, they scratched the god, you know. They took off the divine shield here for SKT, but now can Flash Wolves actually take down?
Right?
Yeah, they're actually going to scratch health points here now.
Yeah, man.
If they can take this one. SKT still looking to make a stand here, though. They're not as far behind in this game. And they're still going to make Flash Wolves work for it. They still have to earn that Dragon 5. And here come SKT!
Yeah, MMD actually starting this one off as Blank is able to disengage effectively. Nice trophy put down there from Wolf for the disengage, but Flash Wolves still pressing forward. Casa making his way back into the jungle. Maple with the Guardian Angel with the passive. Unable to find any way into this. And it almost was like sort of these teams. Like, Wolves, fantastic disengage. So Flash Wolves can't quite find the entrance.
Look at this, though. They're hovering in the jungle here. The Wolves in the jungle waiting to pounce. And SKT chased them out.
Yeah. Once again, Philly used just to find out exactly where the cows are. It's in that brush. Spoiler. We'll check the vision. So no wards are going to go down. Maple continuing to shove things out.
Is Sword Art a cow in wolf's clothing? Or a
wolf in cow's clothing?
It just gets so confused with Flash Wolves playing wolf at the wolf camp.
Yeah.
Wolfception, my friend.
Oh my god, yeah, I don't even know which.
All right, Faker's got blue buff though. I saw your eyes get big. We're not gonna go into that one. That was too much. I'm sorry about that. We're gonna go back to Faker.
Broken me.
Faker secured his blue buff.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
And that's actually going to be good for SKT's wave click because they're still just turtling around this Azir. He's shoving out the waves. He can erect his own turrets, even after the ones that have been destroyed with the Sun Disc from Azir. And SKT is still going to try and huddle around that and hope for Flash Wolves to get antsy. They want Flash Wolves to go for one of these turret dives and misplay the dive. This is the opening that SKT are looking for. They're looking for an error from Flash Wolves.
But Flash Wolves actually have been able to create themselves a lead that is visible. It's 4,000 gold. This is something that they've definitely managed to do, is continue pushing this one forward. They've just got to be diligent. They've got to continue to just take small bites. Don't get greedy and try and rip off the whole thing.
This is also why LCK in general and SKT had the statistics coming into this MSI around the world. You know, they had these slower paced games. It's because when SKT get behind like this and they're at a disadvantage, they force you to make the risky plays. They don't take extra risks themselves. They try and play the conservative game. Now they're extended inside the middle of the map, though, and the teleports come in again.
Yeah, Arcane Shift actually used aggressively. There's Bang! Gets blown up! Wolf now as well, trying to get the work done as Casa throws down the elbow. Faker just wipes him off it. Blank now caught out, but flashes out of the way. And Juke now, NL flashes out. He's going to be saved. And now MMD stuns up Wolf, who's not exactly the tankiest Trundle in the book. Subjugate goes down. Now he is.
SKT are fighting them off. They've traded 1-for-1. Unluckily for SKT, it's a little bit ahead of time. Dragon doesn't come up for another minute and a half. So even though they had control of the territory, they don't get much out of this.
No one does.
The only thing they really get for sure is that they know MMD's teleport is down.
Well, Duke, of course, does still have his, so that's exactly right. Teleport advantage, sort of, for SKT.
Yeah, I mean, they've got an extra one in the chamber there for Flash Wolves.
Yeah, but we'll see. Single teleport versus single teleport.
Faker staying out a little bit long. Flash Wolves don't go for it, though.
Yeah, Faker actually just going to head into the Raptor pit. Starts his back. We'll see whether he does go home. But let's have a look at this one again.
Yep. All right, so the collapse is on to Bang. Focus from, oh man, sort of right there, able to get the edge of the knockup. So, but Faker here with a really nice sweep. He cleans off their own Kindred ultimate, beautiful, and then Duke goes in, takes NL out of the fight. He almost took him down. If it wasn't for those Poppy nerfs and Iceborne nerfs, I think he would have had NL there. Really close margins on that AD carry kill from Poppy. But man, once again, in the mid lane, more action. Faker's ult is down.
Exactly right. Arcane Shift was used expertly there from NL, but
waiting
has
for that
to be used again.
teleport, you can see.
Yeah, Maple setting up shop. We'll see what he can do. And who he's going to be going for here. Faker, no flash. Duke, no flash. Blank, of course, no flash.
Dragon 5 about to explode. This is the team fight to end all.
Yeah, and Maple looking for that teleport. He's going to start channeling now as well. Very deep into the enemy base. And Blank actually heads towards him.
Dragon started. Faker still no ultimate back up.
Yeah, Castle wants to take this one. Duke wants to smack him out of this fight, but Sorta right in amongst it. Blank in trouble as Maple's looking to take him down. Is able to survive for now, but the Dragon falls. MMD picks it up. And the Lamb's Respite's going to save Sword Art. They're burning now. So much power for Flash Wolves.
Goodness, Sword Art, what a hero. He zones, he used an entire health bar there on Alistar, zoning SKT, taking that beating, buying time for the team to get Dragon 5. They're able to get it, but they took so much damage. SKT are going to try and answer with Baron. What a risky play here. They get chased off immediately. That was insanely risky.
And look at the minion wave on the bottom lane as well. It's knocking on the front door of SKT. No teleports in order to capitalize on that one, but Flash Wolves do have that lane advantage.
Yeah, SKT need to go back to base, lick their wounds. They're going to have to see so much map pressure now. Dragon 5, Guardian Angel Rise they're facing, fully stacked up and operational. Ezreal.
But Faker able to take down a pink ward.
MMD actually in base. And Flash Wolves got to push up the top lane as well, so they've regained control. Nice reset there from Flash Wolves. After you do something like that and you go all in and you take a lot of damage going for one of those objectives, the call is to try and reset the map by going back to the fountain and healing. You just have to try and reset without giving up an extra objective, a counter objective for SKT. Flash Wolves did a really good job of chasing them off, also being able to fully reset. Now they should be able to easily grab the Baron, stack Baron on top of Dragon 5, and then go knocking at SKT's doors.
Yeah, NL actually has picked up a Hex Drinker at the same time, was thinking about Sturry's games, but Flash Wolves has started off the Baron. Teleports to come in from Juke. They're looking for it right now, but Flash Wolves still want this fight. Sword Art knocks on Wolf, he's gonna get deleted. Maple grabs it. The ultimate is gonna knock out the Rise and Casa, but still, Flash Wolves now just turn back on. Wolf is now dead. Had Flash, had Exhaust.
Miracle Spear gets actually through for a second. They better
Just
not let
adds
another
the damage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you better not let another one of those through. That would be the most ridiculous.
But this is the big deal. The Baron now falls down. 6,000 gold, approximately the lead for LMS.
Poised to take another
Baron
game
and 5th Dragon,
off
Toby.
of SK Telecom. By far and away the favorite to win this tournament, and Flash Wolves making them look easy here. They've only lost one turret this whole game. And we talked about standing gold. Yeah. It's still standing, Atlas.
It's still standing. I mean, it's a testament to SKT, the fact that they're not further behind than this. I mean, this isn't an insurmountable lead with a 5th Dragon and a Baron. But think about the stats. 0 dragons to 5, sorry, is just insane. Because that's 12% extra statistics that you have over your opponent. So just the items doing so much more work for them.
Double Guardian Angel up for this fight as well.
God. 6 items.
7 lives for Flash Wolves in the next team fight. There's a Guardian Angel now built on Duke, so he's got an extra one, but Flash Wolves closing the loop here. Oh, can they get MMD?
No.
Nope.
He's an Echo, just uses the chrono break.
Question answered very quickly there. Negative on that one. They also can't finish off that turret, but it should be easy to just knock over. But man, SKT just make you take this to the very late game. SKT, they're trying to just drag this out until they can fill the item slots. Max out with 6 items again to try and nullify the gold lead that you've had all game. And to do that, they have to try and defend the inhibitor turrets as long as possible. If you can keep those standing, then you can just fight your team fight at an even 6 item full slots for everybody in the late game and decide it just like they did versus RNG. And hopefully for SKT this time, they would have a different outcome. Flash Wolves looking to still pressure this advantage though, because they do still have an item advantage.
Yeah, Headbutt comes in there as Maple tries to get the work done onto Blank, but Rune Prison not quite close enough. And then Nidalee going to survive. Bang trying to get some work done here. Doesn't have any lifesteal.
Ooh.
But there's the culling. Faker looking
for
more
all
as well. Yeah, they're trying to find a user. The chrono break to dodge the ultimate out of Faker. And remember, he still has another life. But the rest, the Flash Wolves, they get the heck out.
That's what makes this kill even more important. Not only do they get a pick, but they also take out the Guardian Angel proc. That's huge. The item without the passive is really inefficient.
Not to mention the fact that Flash Wolves are on the bottom side of the map, not getting anything from this. They push up the bottom lane. But I mean, that's even a minion wave to
This is one of the first big mistakes that we've seen from Flash Wolves all game long. They've been so clean all game long, and that was a really big all-in risky play there. Good call from SKT to go for that, knowing they had minion waves in position, and they were able to capitalize in a big way. That is a huge step in getting SKT to that point we talked about, where they can equalize on items and just try and win the team fight in a more standard fashion inside their base.
Exactly right. And look, Bang is only lifesteal away from having perfect six item build here. He has so much damage though right now. Does have that Lord Dominic's Regard as well as the Infinity Edge, not to mention those first 2 items that he picked up. I mean, this Lucian is doing so much work.
Yeah. Meanwhile, NL is capped. NL on Ezreal has already upgraded the boots and everything, so he's just going to be chugging elixirs for the rest of this game while Bang tries to fill in his last item slot. So the next 5 minutes are very crucial for SKT.
As of the next 5 seconds.
Yeah. Here comes the teleport. They're starting it off again.
Yeah, it is MMD actually making his way towards the backside of this fight. Maple just going to wander down. It's Dragon number 5. Dragon number 6, actually, is going to be falling here relatively quickly. Blank wants to find it. Doesn't steal it away as it's in fact the Ezreal that grabs it. Suicides into the pit, though. A Sword Art does pop the ultimate. He's going to be fine. MMD closes the distance onto Bang. And he has to get all the way out of there. No way he can get himself back up the health without a Primal Surge.
They've got a minion wave on top. They got the kill as well because Blank suicided in there to try and go for the Miracle Steal. Doesn't get it, and I think Flash Wolves can push in and end it.
Well, we'll see whether they can. It's going to take a big fight, 4v5 in their own base from SKT. MMD doesn't have the Guardian Angel, but they'll lose the inhibitor.
At least 2 inhibitors with this.
Bang flying through. Parallel convergence goes down. Juke wants to try and stop them from doing anything. Inhibitor falls in the mid lane. Not going to find too much more just yet, but look at this tower melt.
Yeah.
So much work done by Flash Wolves.
4 versus 5, and here they go.
Oh my god, Juke actually going to get snared up there from Maple. Nice trophy goes down, but this Rise is just so powerful. Second in hit falls. Flash Wolves back away.
Back here with Blank coming up to even the odds into 5-on-5, and Flash Wolves take the 2 inhibitors and back out.
So strong, and once again, patient from Flash Wolves, not taking off more than they can chew. As Wolves, of course, you generally know how much you're going to chew.
Wolves can chew a lot.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to get to that, I think. I just didn't quite get there.
Well, 2 inhibitors is going to make this Baron very easy for them to pressure. They'll still have the Dragon 5 ticking for them, so they have increased combat effectiveness, plus minion pressure, everything working in their advantage.
Minions, yeah.
They've got everything holding it over SKT. They just need to finish the job now.
Well, we'll see exactly whether they can. MMD continuing to push down towards the bottom side. Baron, in a minute. So Flash Wolves setting up the bottom lane minion wave. Makes a lot of sense. Get all the pressure that they can. The super minions are going to be able to do all the rest. 6 items, though, for Faker on this Azir. So strong in the late game, but hasn't quite been able to make things happen just yet. And it's all about damage. No Zhonya's, nothing like that.
They have to go all in for a team fight. SKT have no time.
Yeah, Flash was actually ignoring the minion wave there as well. Get to this turret before SKT can react. Oh, Mystic Shot does a lot of damage there to Faker.
Next time Flash will get in range of the turret, I expect SKT just to go for it. Otherwise, minions are slowly going to work against them.
MMD actually looking for the stun there. Sword Art gets a massive pulverize, blows the ultimate there as well as the turret does fall. Ultimate from Juke as the Chrono Break gets MMD to safety. Wolf now as well, he's very low. Juke has to go back to base, despite the fact that he does have the Guardian Angel. Flash Wolves get what they want, and they're still here milling about. Spears flying through, Caster gets nailed.
Yep, Baron is up. They can technically retreat and go for the Baron instead. Teleport really deep from Duke here. Look at that one, cutting him off.
Yeah,
and
trying to find it.
Gonna be left there. Nobody home, buddy.
Oh no!
They've left the area.
That's his only teleport there as well. Now he's on the bottom side of the map, and Baron wide open. What a mistake!
I mean, they're just desperate now. They got to go look for him. Hey, come back here and fight us! The minions are going to finish it if they don't.
Well, that's a very good point. Super minions crashing in towards the top side of the map. Might have just been that desperation play, but Baron's going to fall. Flash Wolves pick that one up. Sand Soldiers are here. There's the culling as MMD trying to get out. Yeah,
minions.
Yeah, the minions may just win the game. Just stop the back, Splash Wolves. As the Mystic Shot is going to be there as well to try and kite this one out. You can see Spears are going to miss for now, but a turret falls down. That's the first one. As Juke, what are they trying to do here? The back does come in, so Bang able to clear these things out, but MMD is trying to create a nuisance of himself.
Very empowered super minions. This game is going over to Flash Wolves. All they have to do is come buff up their little minions.
The little minions that
the big minions.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, the little minions were there, the little ones, but they become very large when the Baron buff is there.
Oh,
and
man.
Look, it's
what an
11,000 gold
day.
lead. It's so scary here for SKT. They're just waiting for the end.
Atlas, what an incredible day of upsets here. Day 2. of the international MSI. Whew. SKT poised to lose their second game here. They were coming in looking to sweep.
They were, but Flash Wolves, of course, is a team that we were looking at and wondering what they were going to be able to bring to the table. They're always so surprising. The LMS region just tends to show up out of nowhere. I mean, Season 2, we always got to remember. But this game has been phenomenal from this team.
And Flash Wolves, one of the big things they were looking to prove at this tournament was that staying together and staying in the LMS was a good choice.
Well,
they're proving it here. They're taking down SK Telecom currently.
They certainly are. The Korean representatives struggling on day 2 of MSI. Sphere's still flying forward. True Shot Barrage not going to find anyone just yet as the trophy comes in. Cast it down to half health. But they have to defend the super creeps from the top and mid lane. This inhibitor now falling down. NL getting some cheeky auto attacks. They've managed to break their way through. One Nexus turret separates SKT from a loss to Flash Wolves, and he goes Sword Art. Massive 3-man pulverizes. Wolf is almost destroyed. Lazarus Spite is there, and SKT relegated. Oh my God, Maple! And there goes the Nexus. Look at the celebration on this Flash Wolves squad. LMS proving themselves today.
They came out huge in this game. The standing gold still standing. Only a single turret lost from Flash Wolves. They took all the dragons, all the barons, 12-5 in kills. What a win over SK Telecom.
And it was slow, calm, collected. This was no snowball. This was no mistake that was capitalized on. This was just incremental advantages built one after the other for the Flash Wolves. Incredible play from this team. Maple, big grin on his face.
Huge, huge victory for them.
And I think I might write home about this one. I think this is the sort of thing you write home about.
This is the time to write home about. Because SK Telecom have just gone 0-2 in the second day of group stages.
Against RNG first up in a massive marathon.
They're tied with CLG now!
Yeah! This is what we were talking about. Of course, Supermassive coming up, Supermassive as well, earlier on. The day of upsets is proving to be exactly that.
People were thinking maybe CLG could end this day tied with SKT.
This is not how we thought.
And it turns out they can!
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Holy moly.
It's just everything that the Flash Wolves were doing just seemed a step ahead, and we haven't seen that.
I'm glad we have a second round of this round robin, Atlas.
Yeah.
I want to see the rematches.
Exactly right. And look, the words of Mata are coming back here as well. It's, you know, staying humble, waiting for this SKT squad to fight back, but it looks like the whole day has been them faltering just a little bit.
This win for Flash Wolves, not only is it huge for their team, is it huge for the LMS,
yeah,
but it's also going to give the other teams here at MSI